So in my honest opinion, I feel like the running community, the running space has gotten kind of noisy. I can't remember the last time I watched a video on YouTube about running that had nothing to do with selling you something, discount codes, or just like the video being an entire ad. I've like stopped watching a lot of running content that I typically like to watch just because it's all, I don't know, I think it's getting way too commercialized. In today's episode, I'm hoping to kind of strip away a lot of that noise and just get back down to keeping things simple. So if you like a good old-fashioned run vlog, I think you'll like today's episode. So a couple things we have on the agenda today. We have a 20-mile marathon workout, which is going to be really intense. We're going to cover some of the supplements that I take, why I take them, and I want to talk about some running gear, shoes, things like that actually make a difference. And the nice thing about this video is my honest opinions on things I did well, things I regret buying, tips that I've been using or learned from my coach. There's no discount codes, there's nothing being sold. Like I said, if you just like an old-fashioned run vlog, I think you're gonna love today's episode. So last week we did 19 miles and I killed it. I felt great for that entire run. And the only change I made from that run versus other ones is how much food I had before I ran. So I had like maybe 100 grams of carbs before, I let it digest, and I went out there and just felt amazing. So for breakfast today, what I had before I'm running, basically I had a bagel with honey, applesauce, and orange juice. That adds up to 110 grams of carbs. And now we're just waiting on this coffee to cool so I can drink that. Once that kicks in, that's gonna send me to the bathroom so we can get out of here. That's really the only major change I've made, is just like how much I'm eating before. I think I was under eating food really, really badly. And the nice thing about this too, like it's all, you know, normal, real foods, like orange juice, honey, it's really simple. Applesauce, bagels are pretty processed, they're not necessarily healthy, but there's 57 grams of carbs in a bagel. So that's like my chance to get some extra carbs in. Sorry, my cats are Neanderthals in the morning. But anyway, so we got the food in, kind of just let things settle in so we can get out there and then hopefully poop before I run. Not during, before. I've had quite a few people, and by quite a few I mean like 2 or 3 comments maybe, asking me, but that's important because people are asking for it. They've been asking like, what supplements do you take? Why do you take them? Not just like running supplements, but also vitamins, minerals, other stuff. So we will get into that. But the only thing I want to talk about supplement-wise before we run are the electrolytes. Now we're talking 500 milligrams of sodium pre-run, a little bit of sodium bicarb, and all the other basic electrolytes. There's a little bit of sugar in the electrolytes I take, maybe like 8 to 10 grams, but that's a good way to get the water into the cell. What do you call that? Intracellular hydration. There we go. So that does play a key role in it, and you get a little bit of extra carbohydrates before you run. So I'll use this right here as kind of my electrolytes. Other than food, this is the only other thing I take before I run. It's just making sure we get enough electrolytes here. We'll do 1 scoop in there and it kind of fizzes up real bad. We got to get rolling out of here pretty quick. I want to start as close to sunrise as possible so we don't waste too much time on this wonderful Saturday morning. So a couple things. I got my water bottles filled up with water last night and I just put those in the fridge. So these are pretty cold. We got to get some gels. We got to get our electrolytes put in here. Come over here for a second. Our wonderful supplement area right here. We're aiming for 2 gels per hour. Hour number 1, hour number 2, hour number 3. And then we'll put 2 servings of electrolytes in the handheld water bottles, 1 in each. I think that should be enough to kind of get me through. All right, so we just got to the park here. We're getting ready to do our 20-mile long run, which is just crazy. This is gonna be an intense run, but I'm excited because there's no better way to practice for a marathon that's 26 miles than to run 20 and do some of that at race pace. So we'll go over our workout in just a minute. One thing I want to hopefully de-influence you when it comes to running is on the price of gear. I feel like people do not understand sometimes how expensive marathons are. I mean, we paid a couple hundred for a hotel or Airbnb. You pay $150 to $300 just to race, And then you gotta buy, I mean, you think you have to buy expensive running shorts. I found a pair I loved that is a really popular brand for $95. Shirts are like $50 to $100. Obviously running watches, but running watches are kind of like, I feel like you have to have those, but you don't need to spend $900 if you're just running. Anyway, things are super expensive. So one way I would de-influence you is save money on some of your non-essential gear like running clothes. The tank top underneath this is like a $20 Old Navy tank top. I just like it. But we found my race day tank top on Zara for what? Was it
30?
Yeah, it was like $29.95 on Zara. I love that material. I don't chafe. It's super lightweight. The running shorts I got right here, we got these off Amazon for what, $20?
Yep.
And they literally have like they have a liner underneath them. I put my phone in that area right here, and then they have zipper pockets on each side. Sorry for the booty shot here. There's a zipper pocket over here, and there's something over here to put your shirt in. So basically, I don't even know if you could hear that, but so basically I have 3 different zipper pockets for keys, gels, whatever you want. And then I have a liner on the side for your phone so it like doesn't go anywhere. We got these for 20 bucks. Literally perfect, super lightweight, affordable, and actually instead of the $95 shorts, Sylvia was like, well, why don't you get some for training, 1 pair for race day? So I got 3 colors in total, 2, 4, 6, 60 bucks for 3 pairs of shorts and a tank top for $20. So I got 4 items for the price of 1 pair of shorts. So all I'm saying is, you see people and all this stuff and you're like, man, I gotta have that, I gotta wear that, I gotta look like that. That leaf just smacked the lens. I thought that was something more aggressive. Anyway, it doesn't have to be that expensive. Racing is expensive, but it doesn't need to be. You probably have everything you need to race in. We'll talk about our shoe collection later, some of the things I like, some of the mistakes I made. But anyway, I just thought I would say that for today's long run. We're keeping it super simple on the gear. For our running shoes, we're running in the Nike Vomero 18s. I did carbon plates last week. It messed up my legs. Like I have shin splints already. I thought I had bone cancer for like a week. So max cushion, pretty dense. I think that's gonna absorb some of the impact for today's run. It's cold. Okay. It is 55 degrees out here. It's kind of cool this morning, but that's like a good sign. You want cooler weather on these runs, so I'm gonna be okay with it. Real quick for today's workout, obviously it's 20 miles, but I wrote down a couple goals of the long run because these aren't just random workouts. Like there are goals, things we want to accomplish, I should say, during these runs. One of them is to increase mileage, weekly mileage, obviously. The second one is to get used to running on tired legs. Number 3, we need to work at marathon paced effort. Obviously, you gotta kind of test that pace and make sure you can do it. Number 4, practice my fueling strategy, which we talked about this morning. We're doing 2 gels per hour, roughly, and then electrolytes here. The last one is have fun. You're paying money to go run a marathon. You're paying your own money to run when you can do it for free. So obviously, you're testing yourself, you wanna compete. You wouldn't do it if you didn't love it. So don't forget to have some fun while you're running. All right, so I'm just looking up the workout for today to double check what we're doing. I'm just taking this one chunk at a time. I'm trying not to stare ahead because this can seem overwhelming. So all we have to focus on at first, coach wants me doing 5 miles easy before we do any race pace miles. So 5 miles easy is just a feeling. It's not really a pace. So we don't have to set a number. It's just to get me warmed up. And trust me, my shins are already a little sore this morning, so I think we need to get warmed up. Good on your right. Couple annoying road crossings here, but yeah, my shins are a little tender to start this run, so that's why the warm up is here. Like, just get yourself used to being on your feet. And in a couple miles from now, we will pick up to race pace, and I'll keep you updated on my fueling strategy throughout. All right, we just hit mile 3. We got 2 more easy miles to go, but we're gonna take our first gel here. We're gonna take maple syrup and get some carbs in real quick. I like maple syrup a lot. When you're running, it just, I don't know, I look forward to it. Real quick here, and wash it down with some lights. There, I didn't litter. Proof I didn't litter. All right, 2 more miles, and then we're picking it up
to race pace. All right, we just hit an hour of running. We're gonna take our second gel here. Like I said, 2 per hour. We're gonna take a Go Gel here and then keep going. All right, it's a little windy out here, but we just finished 5 miles at race pace. Every one of those miles was at least 7:20 or below. So we hit all those, but I'm feeling it. My right Achilles, my right hip, my traps, I'm definitely feeling some pain. The good news is we got 2 miles easy, and then we got to pick up to the real workout, which is 4 miles race pace, getting faster by 3 to 5 seconds per mile. That's gonna be tough. So we got to make sure we keep it nice and easy for these next 2. All right, 15 miles in. Our watch has been paused for 5 minutes. I took a bathroom break and all my leg muscles are just like seizing up, super tight and just achy. I don't know, it feels like I strained a couple muscles. I probably didn't, it's just the fatigue, but stinks. I knew last week was like too good to be true. I was feeling so good. Really hurting this week. We're still getting under our paces for the progression, but the last one we did not progress. It just like stayed the same. So we're still moving quickly, but it's not getting faster. So maybe realistically the last 3 miles we just get like sub 7:30, like right around race pace, push if we can. But I might turn one of those into an easy. I don't know, I still really want to hit 20. I'd rather slow down a little bit and hit 20 than just like sprint through it and hit 18. So yeah, stinks, but I want to make sure if we're stopping, I'm letting you know. But stomach feels good. It's just leg muscles are like, I just can't open up my stride, something like that. So sucks, getting hot, but we're gonna get back out there and do a couple more. 20 miles done on the day. We're back home. I got a shower done. After I was looking at my stuff here, my coach texted me. He saw my stats right away, and he was, I don't know, pretty chill about it. He was like, yeah, nice job. I mean, 20 miles is hard. It's a high mileage week, and it got pretty warm. And I didn't even realize, but I looked at the temp, and it's like 76 when we were leaving. So that definitely plays a role into maybe that ab cramp feeling. But my legs were just so tired. I don't know if that was the heat or just, I don't know. I even didn't really run yesterday. I took that day off from doing easy mileage to help with today, but I felt nothing like I did last week. We still got 20 miles. I wanted to quit right at 16 when I was like, I'm basically just jog walking. Like I my abs are cramping so bad. It feels like I got an ab workout, like just sitting here talking. Like it feels like I had an ab workout. They're so sore. So I'm thinking maybe just the heat got to me. I just couldn't get my breath under me. But either way, a little bit of a bummer. It's always funny. Like we're filming all day. We're doing all this stuff. And then the second the run's over, it's just like silence in the car. Like we realizing we've been out there for 3 hours in the dark, filming, running, working. It's kind of like, wow, that's a long morning. And we don't get home till almost 12. So I'm watching a little bit of Michigan football. They just scored. They're up 7-0. If you're dying to know, this will be a week late by the time you see this, but hopefully they win. Going to work on the protein yogurt and then get some electrolytes in. I think we're about to head to the store. We don't have a lot of stuff here, and I have no idea what I want. Something is going to sound good in the next hour, and I'm going to be the first person to grab it when it does. So that's our agenda. I'll show some stats up here of just kind of how the run went. But overall, just happy we got 20 miles done. We got some more things I want to talk about today as far as some more gear. I never say some more gear, some more supplements. We're going to talk about quite a few different things. So we'll get into that, but we definitely need to refuel. But unfortunately, we have to get back on my feet and go shop first. I was wondering if you guys wanted to see my shoe collection. These are all of my shoes, all of my running shoes that I own, minus one pair, my first pair of running shoes. I don't know where those are. Donated, trash, I don't know, but they're really bad, so don't worry about those. This is everything that I own. I thought I'd give you guys a quick shoe tour. I said earlier in the video, gear doesn't matter as much as people think, but I do think shoes matter. You do want to spend some money. The good news is we've gotten discounts or sales on almost every single shoe up here. So I want to run through some of the shoes that I have, what I like, what I don't like. Let's get into it. So starting up top, let's just start with my favorite right now, the Nike Vaporfly 3s. So I got these shoes on sale for maybe 150 bucks, maybe less than that. These I raced the Toledo half marathon in. Like these shoes a lot. I mean, they're pretty aggressive on the feet, but like you can kind of see through the mesh. Like it's really thin. They're super lightweight. It's got a full length carbon plate on the bottom. These shoes are maybe only good for 150 miles. So they're not something you want to be wearing too much, but I love these shoes. I am going to race these in the Indy full marathon in 3 weeks. So love those for my race day shoes. Another shoe I've really been liking, these ones right here. Really big fans of the Adidas Adizero Evo SL. We gotta shorten the names of these shoes. But anyway, I like these. No carbon plate, super lightweight, thin on the top, pretty thick sole. I was definitely deceived. I saw people like step in these shoes and they looked really cushioned. They're not. They're pretty dense. Everyone says these are a good tempo shoe. I agree with that. Talking about getting the wrong shoe though, this is definitely not my size. I need a half size or a wide because I get a blister on my pinkies every single time if I go over like 6 or 7 miles. So the fit does matter, but if you've seen these shoes, which I know you have, these are kind of trendy and you're thinking about buying them for the price, you should definitely get these shoes. Let's get into some of the New Balances that I have. These are kind of the same situation as the Adidas where I didn't quite get the right size. I would size up a half size, but the Fresh Foam 1080 version 13, I got these a while ago and I have put so many miles on these. I love these shoes. When my knees hurt, when my feet hurt, this is what I do for easy runs. I really recommend these and they're always on sale. Another New Balance pair, what are these called? SC Trainer. Version 3. This is a little different because it's like a super cushion shoe, a max cushion shoe, but then you have the carbon plate on the bottom. So they're like a super trainer is what they advertise as. I wore these for my 19-mile long run last week, and I feel like that carbon plate hurt. I feel like I paid the price for that. So they're pretty aggressive. You could probably race in these because that plate would help you, but I've read online like the carbon plates don't even matter unless you're going like below an 8-minute mile. You gotta be like in the 7s is what I heard or what I read for it to matter. But overall, I like these shoes, but I don't use them as much as I wish I did. Luckily, these were a gift, so I bring them out for speed runs, some long runs, but I don't think you should wear these on an easy run personally. My last pair of New Balances that I own are the Rebel version 5s. I believe. These Rebels right here are very similar to the Adidas shoes. People like compare and contrast these all the time, and they're very similar. The only difference is I would say the Rebels fit me better. I don't get any blisters. They're a little bit wider toe box. They're more cushioned. You will get more squish out of that sole. If you're looking for like an easier running shoe and you don't like heavy shoes, this is your shoe. If you want to go a little bit faster, this is your shoe. Also, style-wise, I like both a lot, but I just kind of really like the look of this like plum color. I don't know, I like them. This is like one of my first real pairs of running shoes, and they look like that. They're dingy, they're old, the Nike Invincible Run 3s. I got these because other runners recommended them, and I agree. I think these are really solid shoes. The only thing is people complain about the heel slip, like your heel kind of comes out a little bit. You can do a fancy runner's knot and fix that. I like these so much that when I didn't have a race day shoe, I just bought a second pair. So I got a different color that kind of went with my outfit. This has like the black, the gold, like paint splatter. It's just a really good looking shoe in my opinion. My wife doesn't agree. She thinks it's not that good looking of a shoe. But if you want like a good versatile trainer, you could go slow and easy. You could pick up the pace a little bit. I think this is fine. Are you laughing at the way I said versatile? Versatile? Okay, anyway. They're not quite meeting my needs. If you kind of notice, all the cushioning is back here and I land right here. I just feel like I'm not getting the most out of these shoes. I would pick the Fresh Foams over these if I had to. Let's get into two shoes that were huge mistakes. We're gonna start down here. What are these? The Saucony Endorphin Shift 3s. Look at the heel on that. Doesn't that look like this would be cushioned? But I mean, they're not. You can Those things are rock solid. There's no carbon plate. They're meant to be a daily trainer. And I like the color. They used to look a little more vibrant than that. But the only thing I don't like about them is it's like you're running on blocks of wood. There's no give. There's no cushion. It's just thickness between you and the ground. I don't get the foam. I wore these so often. And what I started doing was taking these up to the reservoir, because instead of pavement, it's a bunch of loose rocks. So it was eating up my other shoes. So I was like, let's take a crappy pair up there. I feel like my feet just suffered in these. I don't know why I put 150, 170 miles on these, but it's all I had at the time. And like when you get something, you're like, you have to convince yourself it was a good decision. And I was just convincing myself this was a good shoe. It's not. I will never buy these again. I've had some disappointing runs in these bad boys for sure. Last pair, basically what Dylan did a couple years ago was when I wanted a speed shoe, I just got like a super lightweight shoe. And I just like read, what is a good speed shoe? And this popped up. The Hoka Mach 5. This is terrible. I hate this shoe with a passion. These look pretty solid. I could donate these to somebody. In fact, go ahead and just leave a comment. Who wants my size 12 Hoka Mach 5s? Because I could get rid of these so quick. I hate these shoes with a passion. I'm just going to put this out here. Hopefully I never get a brand deal from Hoka, because this is a bad look. I will probably never buy another pair of Hokas. I can't say that because they could have great shoes coming out, but Hoka is down at the bottom of the list of my least favorite brands of all time. I do not think these are good shoes. There's no difference. If you close your eyes and you put these shoes on and you just put a random pair of everyday shoes, like gym shoes, you could not tell me these feel like running shoes. There's no cushion at all. That's just a block down there. It's super thin. They kind of do this thing where they'll put, see my thumb, they'll put like a really squishy pair of foam and then a rock solid piece of foam, and you never get to that. I don't know that whole thing. Anyway, Nike does it too. It makes no sense to me. But they're uncomfortable. They don't make you go faster. They're just lightweight. If you want a lightweight shoe that has comfort and cushion, you should have bought these. This is what you wanted to buy. This destroys this 10 out of 10 times. I have no interest in Hoka's going forward. I have these shoes because it makes my collection look cool. But to be honest with you, I am getting rid of the Hoka Mach 5s. I'm getting rid of the Saucony Endorphin Shifts. I'm going to be getting rid of these because of high mileage. The last pair up here, I don't think I talked if I skipped it, were the Nike Vomero 18s. Super trendy and kind of a disappointment. It's another thing where like you buy a shoe, you watch people run in it, and you're like, I'm going to love it. And then I got it, and you're like, all this down here, it does nothing. What they were giving you was really a teaser for the Nike Vomero Plus. That's the shoe you probably want. And I watch people use those. I'd have to try them on before I buy them, but I wore these for today, and they're just nothing special. They're really thick. They're really heavy. They don't have much responsiveness. They do the same thing here. They split it in half. They give you the Zoom foam and the ReactX foam, like a little layer of each. But I never see that being a thing where I'm like, I can tell that there's responsiveness plus cushion. These are just my shoes. As you can see, I don't care what happens to them. I'm willing to take them out in the mud, the rain, bad weather. When we get into winter running, I'm just going to run these to 300 and toss them because I won't get another pair of these. I think they look cool. That's one of my favorite colors, but a little bummed out with these. I'll just say that. Going forward, like I said, the best thing you can do that I've not done a great job is trying on shoes first. 2 shoes I'm looking forward to trying. I'd like to try the Vomero Pluses, and I would love to try the Asics Nova Blast 5. I've always heard that's a really good daily trainer, but I've never tried them on. There's some shoe stores around here that actually have those shoes, so I'm gonna probably try them both on next year for like spring training and stuff like that when I need another daily trainer. I'll probably try both of those shoes on before I buy them. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions about what I run in or like shoes in general, let me know. I can only answer off of limited experience with what I have. Yeah, I can't wait to get some more, but my wife is making me take a break from purchasing until 2026. So we'll do an updated shoe tour then. I wanted a chance to talk today about the supplements that I take, which ones I take, and why I take them. I think that's really important because it matters to me. Obviously, you got to keep in mind the caveat here is supplements are supplemental to your diet. You should just eat whole foods as much as possible. And then when there's days like today where you run 20 miles, it makes eating a frozen pizza rewarding. It doesn't make you feel guilty about it because you're like, I want some carbs, I want something fun, but you don't feel like you're putting your health aside too much to just enjoy something like that. So focus on real foods. That's my advice to everybody. There's no supplement that everyone has to have, or everyone's a little different. The nice thing about everything I'm telling you for my supplements here is I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not going to be telling you anything that somebody is paying me to tell you. I'm telling you what I think. As a chiropractor who's spent quite a bit of time studying nutrition, I've divided my supplements into 2 categories. I have my running supplements, and then I have my everyday health supplements. So let's just start with the running supplements. I've actually divided this into 2 categories when we start with electrolytes. That's what I'm working on right now to kind of rehydrate at the end of the day here. I have my everyday electrolytes I take because I think they're the cleanest electrolytes on planet Earth other than unflavored, unsweetened anything. So I take the sports drink brand. This is what I believe to be the cleanest. I've been looking for a brand like this forever. I tried so many different brands, one of those even being what we have right here, the ProMix brand, but the flavoring on these is just so bad. So I got these ones here, and I like that they use actual like orange powder, literal bits of orange in there. Natural orange flavors or natural flavors, that's not orange. It's not. Orange powder is orange, or extracts, those are real. And it tastes pretty good. You'd have to try it for yourself. I don't put as much water as they recommend because it kind of taints the flavor a little bit, but I like this. There's a lemon lime one that's pretty good, but this is my go-to. So if I wake up in the morning and I just want electrolytes before I start the day, this is what I have, a scoop of this right here. The other category of electrolytes I use are my actual training electrolytes. These are the more convenient ones because you can travel with them in packs. The packets are more convenient for running because you can bring these with you. You can bring this to your race, you can fill up your water bottles, whatever. These are really convenient and they taste good. I think it makes running a little bit easier. Are they as clean as that brand down there? No, they're not. If you read the label, they're not. So I like the taste of these. They're fun. I put them in my water bottles sometimes, but it's not something I want every single day over a 16-week marathon build. I'm not saying they're gonna kill you, I just don't think you probably wanna make those a habit. Now, when we get into my other supplements here, it's gels. There's a couple different gels I like. I don't care which ones you use, but if you're running, you have to have gels. It's one of the few sports you get to eat while you work out. I just think that's awesome. The cleanest ones you could probably find are things like this, the Honey Plus gels. There's electrolytes in here, caffeine, sea salt, organic honey. That's pretty much it. That's it. And it tastes like honey with salt in it. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's pretty sweet. Other training gels I use for marathons and long runs would be the Go gels. I only like the apple cinnamon. The other brands have natural flavors, other stuff in there I don't care for. If you're not concerned about it, you do what you want. But I like these because it's primarily whole foods based. And I love maple syrup. I love the maple syrup gels. It's primarily sugar, but again, it's really a whole food, minimally processed. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. I'm not worried about the sugar because I don't consume a lot of sugar. If you can't tell from my thin frame, I burn a lot of calories too, so I'm not overly worried about that. Now, I have a ton of supplements when it comes to my health that I keep up with. Some of these I try and take every day, especially in the wintertime. That's gonna be things where people are most likely to get deficiencies from. That's gonna be things, especially in fall, like vitamin D and vitamin C. So vitamin D, I will take right here, 5,000 international units. I will take one of those 5 days a week. I wish I was more consistent, probably 5 days a week. And then Trace Minerals is just a huge mineral blend. I'll swallow one of these bad boys, usually with orange juice or electrolytes or something. The last one I take is this Men's One Daily Iron Free from N8. Oh, pizza's done. But those are kind of general vitamins that I'll take to just kind of fill in some gaps from our food. Believe it or not, not everybody's food they're eating is the highest quality. So although we try and buy mainly organic, I think those supplements help. Obviously, I just mentioned vitamin C. I will take a half scoop or full scoop of this when I'm sick. This is like 1,000 milligrams, I think. Yeah, so I'll take one of these, maybe 2 scoops if I feel like I need it. When I'm sick, I'll up that dosage quite a bit. Running is one of those weird things where like it does tank your immune system quite a bit. So you definitely, after long runs especially, you definitely, as I start coughing talking about it, you definitely want something you can take to start to build that up and kind of, again, let me put it this way. Running is not going to make you sick, but it's going to make your body more susceptible to get sick. And I learned that lesson the hard way a couple weeks ago. Quercetin, however you say that. I don't take this as much. This is relatively new to me, but I will take that when I'm sick. And this nasty looking stuff, My wife loves it, but it's elderberry syrup, another supplement I will take. Lastly, zinc. Big zinc fan, especially when they're chewable. But those are kind of like the general supplements I will take when it comes to my health. As I'm getting ready to eat dinner here and wrap up, that is going to wrap up an entire day of everything. Running 20 miles, supplements, shoe tour. We did quite a bit today. It's been a long day and I'm very, very tired. But thank you guys for watching. I'm not really going to put anything down in the description as far as links. Like I said, you do your own thing, you do your own research. I don't want to over influence you. I'm just giving you some suggestions how I feel like we can make the running community better. Stop selling people stuff all the time and just talk to people, show people, learn from other people. I think it's just going to make this entire experience way better from everyone else. And like I was complaining about, I'm running out of people I love to watch because I feel like people are pushing ads my way every time I click on a video. The only way for me to fix that is to start making videos that I would want to watch. So hopefully this is something you would want to watch. Let me know by commenting or liking this video. And we're almost to 5,000 subscribers, so I would appreciate your subscription. Please and thank you. Other than that, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments and we will check in with you next week for peak week. Thanks for watching.